Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Wednesday, January 31st. We got an 8-game slate today, so another nice size slate. Like always, going to go through each position, targets, talk about some guys I want to target today, and of course I'll give you 5 of my favorite plays, early looks at this slate, 5 guys that I definitely think I'm going to be targeting come lock. But before we do get started, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're new to the channel and this is your first time checking out a video on my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss out on any of my new uploads. But yeah, guys, starting off at point guard on today's 8-game slate. Looking up top here, we got Oladipo, Kyrie Irving, Dame Lillard, Ben Simmons, even Booker, Kemba Walker, and Tariq Evans, kind of all priced in the same range from 8K, from the low 8Ks to low 9K range. Now, early looks at this slate, I'm not sure if these guys are the point guard, or if these point guards are the guys I'm really trying to pay up for on this slate. At least first looks, I was looking at center. I think center might be the position I want to pay up for today. We'll talk about Dwight Howard later. Love Dwight Howard in the revenge game. He's kind of expensive, but a lot of value on this slate I'm seeing. Love Howard today. Love Gasol against the Pacers, a team that's been getting torched by centers this year. I think Gasol, a guy I really want to pay up for. Just not sure if like Oladipo, Kyrie, Dame Lillard, Simmons, Booker, Kemba, Evans. Not sure if these are the guys I'm trying to jam in on this slate. I think I'd prefer the expensive centers. But of course, we'll talk about these guys. Oladipo against Memphis. You could definitely play Oladipo here. He's 9,300. Hasn't really been paying off his price lately. His last few games, 38, 40, 44 drafting points against Cleveland, 46 against Phoenix. This is a pretty good spot against Memphis. Definitely not the best pace. Memphis plays at a slow pace. You could go to Oladipo here. I think I prefer like Dwight Howard, though. If I'm paying 9K or more for somebody on this slate, I think I prefer Howard. Kyrie, I don't feel like I need to go to Kyrie here at 9K. Great matchup against the Knicks, but just at 9K, not sure if I need to pay this price tag for Kyrie. You need at least 45 DraftKings points from him. He can obviously get there through 2 games this year against the Knicks. He's averaged 40 DK points, so he's done solid against the Knicks this year. But like I said, just don't think any of these point guards up top here, point guards I really am trying to jam in. Could play Simmons against Brooklyn. That's a great matchup, but Simmons is expensive. Devin Booker is questionable. Not sure if we're going to be able to play him. Kemba's in a good matchup against the Hawks, but Kemba's on the road, and he's priced up as well. Same with Tariq Evans. He's in a pretty solid spot, but he's 8,200. I'm not sure I really need to jam in Tariq on this slate, especially because he hasn't been showing a lot of upside lately. Did put up 44 DK points earlier this year against the Pacers, but 44 at 8,200 honestly isn't like crushing value by any means. Just don't feel like I'm going to get burned by any of these expensive point guards. So I think we can go to the mid-tier at this position, or we can just try and go cheap and find value. In this mid-tier, though, definitely some plays here I see. Goran Dragic, an option that really stands out to me in a matchup against the Cavs. This is a great matchup with Isaiah Thomas on the court. The Cavs, their defense, not been good, especially against the point guard. Dragic, been pretty terrible lately. Hasn't really been paying off his price. One reason why he's so cheap, 6,900. Last 4 games, 29, 29, 11, 27 DK points. So he hasn't been really paying off his price, but this is a great matchup today. I think we see Dragic get 35 or more DraftKings points in this spot. Definitely like him in that mid-tier. Also, really like Elfrid Payton as well for just 100 more. I think if you're playing like cash in tournaments, I'd much rather have Dragic in cash, Elfrid Payton in GPPs, just because Payton has a lot of upside. Great matchup here against the Lakers if Aaron Gordon is out today. He didn't play on Tuesday. The Magic are on a back-to-back. There's a good chance he misses again. Definitely can play Elfrid Payton here, and especially given the matchup against the Lakers, this is a game we are going to want to have exposure to. Both of these teams do play at a fast pace. So I like Payton and Goran Dragic in that mid-tier. And if we're trying to find maybe some value, want to go cheap here, you could play Yogi Ferrell against Phoenix if J.J. Barea is out today. Yogi Ferrell has played some nice minutes lately with Barea out. Has played over 30 minutes his last 2 games. Production's kind of been inconsistent. 21, 12 DraftKings points. But this is a great matchup against the Suns. Always like to target the Suns because they play at such a fast pace. Don't play a lot of defense. Definitely like Ferrell if you're trying to go cheap at this position. He's only 5,100. And then sub 5K, the cheap value plays. Not seeing a ton that really stands out to me. I think Tyler Ulis could definitely be a value option if Devin Booker does not play today. Last game with Booker out, Ulis did play off the bench. Cannon got the start, but Ulis played way better than Cannon. Played 31 minutes and put up 33 DraftKings points. Even if Ulis plays off the bench and Cannon starts again, I think we can consider Ulis here, especially because he's just 3,800. Definitely a good matchup against Dallas, a team that does struggle to defend the point guard position. I like Ulis as someone you could go to sub 5K if you're just trying to go cheap here. But that's what I'm seeing at point guard, at least plays that really stand out to me. So moving on to shooting guard, looking at options I haven't really talked about. A lot of these options up top here I've already mentioned. So we'll go to this mid tier, try and find some plays here. Evan Fournier seems like a good option in this mid tier. Not a big fan of his price at $6,500, but if Aaron Gordon is out today, Evan Fournier definitely going to be relied on for offense. Really going to need his scoring. Going to need him to step up. There's a good chance he takes 15 to 20 shots against the Lakers. And the pace of this game does favor Fournier's game. He is a really good shooter. And a fast-paced, up-tempo game against the Lakers is a matchup that Fournier can really thrive in. I think you can go to him in that mid-tier if you want to go there. Could play Spencer Dinwiddie at 6,200. Even though D'Angelo Russell is back, Dinwiddie's still been getting solid minutes, been playing well. Russell has been playing off the bench. And Brooklyn is on a back-to-back here. There's a good chance Russell plays limited minutes or he just rests. So Dinwiddie, if you want to play him at point guard or shooting guard, could be a mid-tier play at just 6,200. Him and Fournier are two options I see in that mid-range. And maybe if we're trying to go cheap here and find value, this 5K range at 5,500, Wesley Matthews is sort of a cheaper play. It's a guy that I definitely like. Great matchup against the Suns. Earlier this year against the Suns, Matthews played 36 minutes against them, put up 28 DraftKings points. He had a solid game. Just been playing a lot of minutes lately. Production's been somewhat consistent. Does have two disappointing games in there against Portland and Denver where he only put up 18 and 20 DraftKings points. That game against Houston, he went off for 50 DK points. The last game against Miami, put up 37 DK points. Just one thing you'd like to see, the minutes have really been there for Wesley Matthews. Over 32 minutes in all of his last 4 games. Been playing a lot of minutes. Always like to see that. So just 5,500. Wesley Matthews, as somewhat a cheap play, is someone that you can definitely go to. You could also play Simmons in that 5K range. Great matchup there against the Lakers, and he's also pretty cheap at 5,300. But going sub 5K, trying to find cheap value here. Do have one of my 5 plays of this position. Just 4,800. Mario Hezonja in a matchup against the Lakers. Definitely like Hezonja here as a value play if Aaron Gordon does not play today. Aaron Gordon sat out Tuesday, like I said, against the Rockets, and Hezonja did get the start. And I believe he played like 24, 25 minutes and put out like 24, 25 DK points. So he was solid. I think he did get into some early foul trouble. So that was one of the reasons the minutes were kind of low. On a back-to-back, there's a good chance Aaron Gordon's not able to go today. So Hezonja could be moved back into the starting lineup again, or going to be starting again if Aaron Gordon is out. He's pretty cheap at 4,800. Really good matchup against the Lakers. Really like Hezonja as a cheap option on this slate at shooting guard. I think he's a great play today for value if Aaron Gordon does not play. But that's what I'm seeing for shooting guard, at least for value plays. Options that really stand out to me. So I think we can go ahead and move on to small forward. Talk about this position. We got LeBron up top here, 11,100 in a matchup against the Heat. I'm not really a big fan of LeBron today. The Cavs are on a back-to-back, and this isn't that great of a matchup. The Heat do have some solid defenders. But earlier this year against the Heat, LeBron did put up 58 DraftKings points in only 28 minutes, so he was solid against them. But like I said, not sure if I'm trying to jam in LeBron on this slate. I am finding a lot of value, so it's probably going to be easy to fit him in just early looks of this slate. But I still don't think I want to try and jam him in. I think I'd prefer just to play like 3 of those 8, 9K guys rather than playing LeBron and then a couple 6K guys. Rather spend my money on some of those 8K and 9K guys. But we know LeBron's always going to be a safe option for cash at least. Guy pretty much has a 40, 45 point floor if it's a competitive game. And he obviously has insane upside, can get you 70, 80 DraftKings points. I think LeBron's definitely a good cash play here. But I think you can go different in tournaments. Don't have to jam him in by any means. At least I don't think so. But looking for other cheaper options at small forward. If Aaron Gordon does play today and he's not on a restriction, I love him today at just 7,900 if he plays. I don't think he's going to play because they're on a back-to-back, and if he didn't play Tuesday, I doubt there's a chance he's going to be able to play again on Wednesday. But if I'm wrong and he does wind up playing at just 7,900 against the Lakers, if no restriction or anything, Gordon could be a great option at small forward. Definitely like taking the savings off LeBron and going down to him if he does wind up playing. But you do have other options you can consider, especially right under Gordon. You got Harrison Barnes against Phoenix, who's definitely a play. The guy that I really like in that mid-tier is TJ Warren. If Devin Booker is out today, we're going to see TJ Warren just really put this offense on his shoulders. Last game against Memphis, Devin Booker was out, and TJ Warren played 35 minutes, took 18 shots and put up 35 DraftKings points, had 24 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Dallas does have some pretty good wing defenders. Barnes is solid. They obviously got Wesley Matthews. He's a really good defender. But I still like Warren here, and just 6,700. I think that is still a little bit too cheap, especially if Devin Booker is out today. So Warren is a guy that I'm going to be prioritizing into my lineups today if Devin Booker's out. Really like him in that mid-tier if you want to play him. I would much rather have him over Barnes if Booker's out. If Booker plays, I think I prefer Barnes over Warren. Just pretty simple. But if we want to go to this 5K range or just try and find some value at small forward, you could play Covington at 5,800 against Brooklyn. That is a great matchup. But Covington really been sort of frustrating to roster lately. Just hasn't been doing much for fantasy. His last 4 games, he did have a solid game against Chicago where he put up 35 DK points. But then 18 against San Antonio, 18 against OKC. With Joel Embiid out in their last game against Milwaukee, Covington only put up 28 DK points, which is getting the job done. Great matchup against Brooklyn, but I think we can go down a little bit cheaper. You could go to like Kuzma or I think Wesley Matthews. Tatum is coming off a nice game. You could play him. I think I prefer going down off of Covington, probably just playing like Wesley Matthews at 5,500. Or you could play Jonathan Simmons as well at 5,300. But then going for the cheap value at small forward, maybe like 5K and under. Well, one more play that 5K range. You could play Josh Jackson at 5,100 if Devin Booker's out today, and also if Marquise Chris is out as well. That's a big injury that really affects Jackson. Last game, Chris was out and Devin Booker was out as well, and Jackson played 29 minutes, put up 31 DraftKings points. You could consider him. Price tag starting to get up there at 5,100, but he's shown the ability to pay off this price when those guys have been out and he's gotten the minutes. So I like him as a value option. But going sub 5K and trying to find the cheap value, not really seeing a lot sub 5K that stands out to me as just being great options. So I think that's pretty much it for small forward. Moving on to power forward, looking at this position. Up top here, you got Porzingis going up against Boston. You obviously got Gordon, who I really like if he plays today. Al Horford going up against the Knicks, sort of some guys up top of this position. Highly doubt I'm going to play Porzingis on the slate. The Knicks are on a back-to-back. Not the best matchup against Boston. We don't like taking guys against that team because their defense is so good. They are definitely weaker against power forwards and centers than they are against like guards. But through 2 games this year against Boston, Porzingis has really struggled. Only put up an average of 12 DraftKings points through 2 games. He's played average of 27 minutes. Like I said, the Knicks are on a back-to-back. Porzingis 8,200. Not really a big fan of that price. I think I just prefer other options. Would definitely prefer Aaron Gordon for 300 less if he does play. But I don't think power forward is going to be a position I look to pay up at. We got a lot of good options in this mid-tier. If you want to play like TJ Warren here, really like him in that mid-tier. Lauri Markkanen's going to be out today, so that's a big injury that's going to open up some mid-tier plays. We got Bobby Portis at 5,900, who we could play. But the guy that I really like with Markkanen out is Nikola Mirotic at 5,500. He is questionable as I'm recording this Tuesday night, so make sure you're taking note of that. Just don't just plug Mirotic into your lineups without editing them or without keeping up with news throughout the day, and make sure you're keeping up with news close to lock. Mirotic is questionable. If he does not play, I think easily you just take out Mirotic and play Portis. Portis is the clear option if Mirotic is out. We already know that Markkanen's going to be out. But when Markkanen has been out this year and Mirotic has played, he's been the one that's got the start, and he's been the one that's played over 30 minutes. And he's also very, very cheap as well, just 5,500. Mirotic, a pretty easy play for me today if he's able to play. There was some news that came out that he was going to get traded to the Pelicans, but it looks like that was false reports, or the deal just didn't go through. It says right here that Mirotic is going to travel with the team. He's still questionable, so we're not sure if he's going to play, but he is with the team. Definitely like him if he plays today. One of my favorite options is someone you can use to save salary at 5,500. If Mirotic does not play, Bobby Portis, great option, 5,900. Those 2 guys are going to be on a lot of people's radars today. But looking for value at power forward, there are 2 value plays that I see the night before that really stand out to me. One of the value plays is going to be in my 5 plays. Frank Kaminsky, just 4,400 in a matchup against the Hawks. Really like Frank Kaminsky as a value option today. We've already gotten news that Marvin Williams is going to be out, and there's a good chance that Kaminsky will start for Marvin Williams. When Kaminsky has been in the starting lineup just this year and in the past, he's done really well. He's gotten the minutes, and this is a great matchup against the Hawks. Kaminsky's still really cheap at just 4,400. If he plays 25 to 30 minutes against this Hawks team, he should absolutely be able to crush this price tag. Love him as a value option. You can play him at power forward or center on DraftKings, so you have a lot of flexibility there. And then the final value play I want to mention at power forward, just 4K, Tristan Thompson in a matchup against the Heat. Really like Tristan Thompson here as a value option you can use. With Kevin Love, looks like Kevin Love broke his hand Tuesday against Detroit. I would say it's very likely that he's not able to play today. So that's a lot of rebounds to go around. A lot of rebounds for Tristan Thompson to soak in. Good chance Thompson plays nice minutes here. With going up against Miami, going up against Whiteside, they're going to need Thompson to defend Whiteside when he's on the court. I think Thompson easily is able to get a double-double today and pay off this price. He's very cheap at just $4K. I really like him as a value option. Him and Kaminsky, two guys I see sub 5K at power forward that I think are really good value options. But that's what I'm seeing at power forward for the value plays. So let's go ahead and move on to center. Talk about this position up top. Got a lot of good options here. Joel Embiid against Brooklyn. We got Dwight Howard in a revenge game against the Hawks. Could go to Whiteside against Cleveland. But Marc Gasol against the Pacers. Another great spot there. I will be plugging two of these guys in. Really like the spot for two of these guys. Obviously, as you can tell by the thumbnail, Dwight Howard in the revenge game against the Hawks. Love him today at 9,400. You obviously can't go wrong with Joel Embiid against Brooklyn. Embiid did rest on Monday, so that's why he's listed as out on DraftKings. He's expected to play today. If he gets full minutes against this Brooklyn front court, this dude's absolutely going to go off. He's going to put up a monster game if he's able to get the minutes and if this game stays competitive. You can definitely pay up for Embiid on this slate. Don't mind him at all. But I went ahead and took the savings, went down to Howard. Just love Howard here. Against the Hawks, his former team, he's crushed this team through 2 games this year. He's averaged 48 DraftKings points through 2 games. These teams did just play a couple games ago, and Howard put up 56 DraftKings points in 34 minutes, had 18 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, and 7 blocks. This Hawks team has just been so bad this year defending centers and defending bigs since Howard left. Even though he's priced up at 9,400, I just love this matchup. Love the narrative. Howard said their last game when they played the Hawks that he wanted to kill them. It's what he did, putting up 56 DK points. I think he has another monster game today. Love Dwight Howard on this slate. Definitely think he's a center. Him and Embiid, 2 centers I really want to pay up for. But there is another center I want to play up for today. Marc Gasol, 8,300 against the Pacers. He's going to be the last in my 5 plays today. Love Gasol as well. This Pacers team has just been absolutely getting torched by centers this year. Been giving up a ton of fantasy points to centers. Earlier this year against the Pacers, Gasol put up a 70 DraftKings point game in 39 minutes, had 35 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks, just a monster game. He was pretty disappointing their last game against Phoenix. I played him in a lot of lineups that day. Pretty disappointing. He still put up 34 DraftKings points even though he only played 24 minutes. If he would have gotten his full minutes, full 30, 35 minutes, he would have absolutely crushed that Phoenix team. I think we see Gasol get back to full minutes here and put up a really nice game. So I love him and Howard. It's 2 centers you can pay up for. Like I said, you can't go wrong with Embiid, but I'll just take the savings, go down to Howard and Gasol. 2 guys I really like. But looking for other centers that we could consider, doubt I'm going to be paying up for any of these guys. I think you just pay up at center today, or you just try and go for value. So I'm going to be in the mid-tier, like Julius Randle, Sarge, Kevin Love if he plays. Not sure if these are guys I'm really jamming in. I just want the expensive centers today, or just try and find some cheap value. So that's what we'll do. We'll try and find the cheap value. You obviously have Portis for cheap, who's a great option if Mirotic did not play. You have Mirotic, who's center eligible as well. You can play him here. Kaminsky, center eligible. Sub 5K, you got Tristan Thompson, who's center eligible. Like him for value at 4K. But I definitely think this is a position we want to pay up at today. Just so many good options up top with Howard and Embiid, Marc Gasol. Love those guys today. But I think that's pretty much it for center today, guys. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, just make sure you give it a like if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't already. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or just leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck tonight on the slate, guys. Peace.